I want to ask you something. When was the last time you looked at yourself? Not in the mirror, but really looked at yourself. Not your makeup, not your outfit, not your body. I mean you, the woman behind all of it. Because I think so many of us spend our lives trying to improve everything on the outside while completely neglecting what's happening on the inside. We buy new clothes, we change our hair, we learn how to do better makeup. We tell ourselves that once we look a certain way, we'll finally feel confident. But have you ever noticed something? That feeling never lasts. You get the new outfit, you feel amazing for a day, maybe a week. Then your mind starts looking for the next thing that's missing: a better body, a better job, more followers, more money, more validation. And before you know it, you're chasing another finish line. Here's what's changed my perspective: confidence isn't a destination, it's a relationship. It's the relationship you have with yourself. Imagine having a best friend who spoke to you the way you spoke to yourself. Would you want to spend time with that person? Think about it. How often do you tell yourself, I'm not pretty enough, I'm behind in life, I'm not successful enough, I'll never be like her? Now imagine saying those words to someone you love. You never would. So, why is it acceptable when it's directed at yourself? The voice in your head becomes the home you live in every single day. Make it a kind place. One of the biggest mistakes we make is believing that comparison will somehow motivate us. It rarely does. Most of the time, it steals our joy. You see someone else's success, and suddenly your own progress feels invisible. You see someone else's beauty, and suddenly you stop appreciating your own. You see someone else's relationship, and suddenly you question your own life. But here's what social media rarely shows you: it doesn't show the loneliness, it doesn't show the fear, it doesn't show the failures, it doesn't show the nights people cried before they smiled for the camera. You're comparing your reality to someone else's highlights. That's not a fair comparison. Your journey is allowed to look different. Your timing is allowed to be different. You don't have to rush just because someone else seems ahead. Flowers don't compete with each other. A rose doesn't look at a sunflower and wonder why it's taller. A sunflower doesn't wish it looked like a rose. They both bloom when it's their season. So why do we expect ourselves to have someone else's timeline? Maybe your season is still coming. Maybe right now you're growing roots. Roots aren't exciting. Nobody applauds roots. Nobody notices them. But without roots, nothing beautiful can grow. So if life feels slow right now, don't assume nothing is happening. Sometimes the most important growth is invisible. I also want you to remember this: you teach people how to treat you. Every time you stay somewhere you're constantly disrespected, you send yourself a message. Every time you ignore your own boundaries, you send yourself a message. Every time you settle for less than you deserve, you send yourself a message. That message becomes your identity if you repeat it often enough. Instead, start sending yourself a different message. I matter. My feelings matter. My peace matters. My dreams matter. Those aren't selfish thoughts, they're healthy thoughts. There's a huge difference. Another thing I've learned: your life changes the moment you stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if it actually works? What if starting that business changes your life? What if posting that video inspires someone? What if taking that first step leads somewhere you never expected? Fear loves certainty. Growth requires uncertainty. You'll never have all the answers before you begin, and that's okay. Nobody does. Every confident person you admire started as someone who was nervous. Every successful woman you look up to once doubted herself. The difference wasn't that they had no fear, The difference was that I didn't let fear make every decision. So today, don't wait until you feel fearless. Start while you're scared. Start while you're uncertain. Start before you think you're ready. Because action creates confidence, not the other way around. And finally, I want you to remember something. You don't have to become someone else to deserve a beautiful life. You don't have to earn your worth. You don't have to prove that you're enough. You already are. The goal isn't to become a different woman. The goal is to become more of the woman you were always meant to be. Kinder to yourself, braver, more peaceful, more authentic. The woman who stops apologizing for taking up space. The woman who protects her energy. The woman who celebrates other women without forgetting her own value. The woman who knows that beauty isn't only something people see. It's something people feel when they're around you. So after this video ends, I don't want you to remember every word I said. I want you to remember one thing. Your life doesn't change because one perfect moment suddenly arrives. It changes because of the small choices you make every single day. Choose to speak kindly to yourself. Choose to keep one promise to yourself. Choose to believe in your future even when you can't see it yet. Because one day, you'll look back at this version of yourself and realize she was much stronger than you ever believed. Before you leave, I want you to ask something. If your future self could give you one piece of advice today, what do you think she would say? Write your answer in the comments. I can't wait to read it.